What if this very month, October 2025, has been marked for 5 divine events that could reshape your next season if you dare to lean in, listen, and respond? How do you live this out day to day? Start your mornings by asking 3 simple questions. What is being unveiled to me today? Where might a reversal be waiting if I try again? What small act of obedience can I take before noon? Midday, check your alignments. Is this conversation pulling me back into an old pattern? Is this task still part of my assignment? Is my yes still honest? In the evening, bless what ended and bless what began. Close the day without carrying tomorrow's anxieties into your sleep. Expect confirmations. They may come as a phrase repeated by different people, a pattern in your readings, or an internal peace that lingers even when details are unresolved. Expect opposition too. It often stands closest to the doorway that matters most. Don't argue with critics. Outlast them with fruit. Don't chase every rumor. Let your results reply. Don't post every plan. Build in quiet and reveal in due time. And remember, October's 5 events are not a spectacle for your entertainment. They are an invitation to stewardship. Unveiling calls for honesty, reversal calls for gratitude, alignment calls for courage, open doors call for action, refining calls for endurance. If you carry these 5 responses in your heart, October won't simply be a month on a calendar. It will be a hinge that swings the rest of your year into place. So lift your head, clean your motives, sharpen your schedule, guard your peace, love people well, work with excellence. And as you step into each day of October 2025, declare with your life, not just your lips, that you are ready for the unveiling, prepared for the reversal, surrendered to the alignment, bold for the open door, and steady in the refining. The month has been marked. Now walk in it. Unveiling is one of the most powerful and life-altering moments you can ever experience. It is the moment when what was once hidden suddenly comes into the open, and you can no longer live in confusion about it. Think about how often you've walked through life uncertain about people's intentions, about whether opportunities were real, about whether you were walking in the right direction. In those times, you feel as though you're driving in a dense fog, straining to see a few feet ahead, constantly second-guessing your choices. Yet in the season of unveiling, that fog begins to lift. Suddenly, what was covered becomes clear, and what was murky becomes sharp. October carries with it that kind of unveiling. It's as if the curtain is being pulled back, not to expose you in shame, but to empower you with sight so you can finally take your next step without stumbling. When unveiling happens, it often feels uncomfortable. You may see things you didn't want to see, hear truths you weren't ready to hear, or recognize motives in people that you had convinced yourself were pure. It may sting, but it's never to hurt you, it's to heal you. Imagine holding on to relationships, projects, or ambitions that seemed so promising, but in reality they were draining your energy. When clarity comes, it breaks the illusion and gives you the freedom to release what no longer belongs. It is an act of mercy. Sometimes God allows confusion for a season because we're not ready for the weight of the truth. But when unveiling arrives, it means you are ready, strong enough, and prepared to handle the reality of what you're shown. Your job is not to resist the light, but to walk in it. In unveiling, even your own heart is exposed, not in a condemning way, but in a way that invites growth. You may realize why you react to certain people the way you do, why you procrastinate in certain areas, or why you keep circling the same frustrations. This is not weakness, this is grace. Awareness is the first step to freedom. When you can finally see the root of your actions, you no longer have to be bound by them. Unveiling doesn't just show you what's wrong. It shows you what's right, what you've been ignoring, and where your strength truly lies. Some of you will rediscover gifts you had shelved years ago. Others will uncover dreams that never died but were buried under fear and distraction. This kind of revelation is not a coincidence. It is timing. October's unveiling may also come through simple, everyday moments. A conversation that suddenly shifts your perspective. A phrase someone speaks that feels like a direct answer to a question you've carried silently. A closed door that, instead of breaking you, suddenly makes you realize it was protection all along. Don't underestimate the ordinary ways clarity arrives. Pay attention to patterns, to repeated themes, to moments that seem insignificant but stay with you longer than usual. These are the gentle signals that unveiling is at work. What used to feel random is actually aligning with purpose. The challenge of unveiling is deciding how you will respond. Some people see the truth and run from it, preferring the comfort of the familiar over the risk of change. Others harden their hearts, insisting the light must be wrong because it disrupts their plans. But the wise know that truth, once revealed, demands a response. It's not enough to just see clearly. You must also walk differently. Clarity without action becomes wasted revelation. When you see that someone no longer belongs in your circle, release them with love. When you discover that an opportunity is not aligned with your calling, let it go without regret. When you recognize the next step you're supposed to take it quickly, without hesitation. Obedience is how you honor the gift of unveiling. Above all, unveiling is a reminder that you are not alone in your journey. The timing of truth is guided. You are not stumbling through life blindly. There is a hand directing the light to shine exactly where you need it. So instead of fearing what may be revealed, embrace it. Instead of worrying about what you might lose, rejoice in what you will gain: freedom, direction, strength, and peace. October's unveiling is not about exposing your weakness, it's about empowering your future. And if you dare to step into the light with humility and courage, You will find that this season doesn't just remove the fog, it sets your path straight for the months and years ahead. A great reversal is a moment in life when everything that seemed stuck suddenly shifts. When the current that was pulling against you begins to push you forward, when the story you thought was over suddenly turns to a new chapter you never saw coming. It is the point where frustration meets fulfillment, where delay is replaced with acceleration, and where loss transforms into restoration. Too often we look at life's closed doors and assume that the delay is final, that the silence means denial, or that the waiting was wasted. But what you don't always see is that every delay carries preparation, every pause shapes endurance, and every seeming failure is quietly aligning the right people, places, and timing for your benefit. A great reversal does not simply change circumstances, it redefines how you see them and confirms that no season of your life was in vain. In October, many will face moments where they realize the tables have turned. The situation that once embarrassed them now becomes the very platform for their breakthrough. The person who overlooked them suddenly becomes the one who calls their name. The work that seemed ignored is recognized, and the seed planted long ago finally produces fruit. A reversal doesn't erase the process, it redeems it, it makes sense of the pain, it validates the perseverance, and it demonstrates that no good effort was wasted. You may have spent months, even years, feeling like you were overlooked, but a reversal proves that timing is more powerful than speed. What you thought was forgotten was actually being reserved for a moment when its impact will be greatest. Reversals also teach humility and gratitude. When you've been through seasons of delay, you don't take sudden blessings lightly. You appreciate the opportunity in a way you never could have if it had arrived too quickly. You handle it with care because you know the price you paid in patience. Gratitude becomes natural because you recognize how close you came to giving up, and now you're standing in the very thing you almost abandoned. A reversal changes not only your circumstances, but also your character. It shapes your attitude, deepens your compassion, and broadens your vision. You begin to realize that your story is not just about you. It's about others who will one day find strength in your testimony. The delays that once frustrated you become the wisdom you will use to guide others through their waiting. It's important, though, to prepare yourself for the reversal. When opportunities arrive suddenly, they demand readiness. A door may swing open quickly, but only those who have prepared in the waiting season can walk through it confidently. This is why the delay matters. It was never wasted time. Every small discipline you practiced, every skill you refined, every lesson you endured becomes essential when the turnaround comes. A reversal is not luck. It is the meeting point of preparation and timing. If you are faithful in the hidden seasons, you will be capable in the revealed ones. Many miss their reversal because they confuse waiting with wasting. But those who see waiting as preparation always recognize the turnaround as their appointed moment. Sometimes reversals don't look the way you expect. You may have prayed for one opportunity, only to see another one rise up instead. You may have hoped for a specific door to open, but the reversal comes from a direction you never considered. It's crucial not to reject your reversal simply because it doesn't match your expectation. What matters is not whether it looks familiar, but whether it aligns with the peace and purpose planted within you. When the table turns, be flexible enough to move with it. Don't cling to the old way things were supposed to happen. Let go of the script you wrote for yourself and embrace the story that's unfolding for you. The great reversal reminds you that nothing is final until it is finished. No delay, no rejection. No failure has the power to close off your destiny. What feels like the end can become the beginning. What looks like defeat can turn into the very soil for your greatest victory. This October, expect reversals. Expect that the things which seem permanently set against you may suddenly move in your favor. Expect that your patience, your faith, and your resilience will meet their reward. And when it comes, don't hesitate. Celebrate it, steward it, and let it shape you into someone who knows that even when the odds are stacked, the story can still shift in your favor. Alignment by separation is one of the most misunderstood yet powerful moves that can take place in your life. Human nature often clings to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves us. We hold on to relationships that drain us, habits that weaken us, and assignments that were meant only for a season but have long since expired. We confuse loyalty with stagnation, thinking that letting go means failure. But the truth is, there are times when progress requires pruning. Separation is not always rejection. More often, it is realignment. It is the gentle but firm way life clears the space for what truly belongs so that the right people, opportunities, and growth can finally take root. October carries a distinct sense of this pruning. It is a month where you may feel doors closing, not because you did something wrong, but because the season has shifted. A person you thought would always walk with you may begin to drift away. A plan that once carried excitement may now feel heavy and forced. Even your own desires may start to change, leading you away from paths you once chased so passionately. It can be unsettling at first because separation often feels like loss, yet in reality it is alignment. Imagine a tree in autumn. The leaves fall not because the tree is dying, but because it is preparing for a new cycle of growth. In the same way, the things leaving your life are often making room for what is better aligned with your purpose. It is in these moments of separation that you learn the difference between what is good and what is right. Many things in your life may be good, good people, good opportunities, good routines. But good does not always mean destined. Not everything good is meant to stay. Alignment requires you to release even good things so that the right things can flourish. Holding on to what no longer fits is like trying to force an old key into a new lock. It will only leave you frustrated and stuck. The courage to let go becomes the very act that positions you for greater clarity, creativity, and flow. When you release what isn't aligned, you create space for what is truly meant for you to enter without resistance. This process also brings protection. Sometimes you don't realize how much harm you've been spared because of separation. A partnership that ended may have saved you from betrayal. A door that closed may have shielded you from burnout. A habit you were forced to drop may have prevented long-term damage to your health or peace. Alignment through separation is rarely convenient, but it is always purposeful. What looks like rejection is often divine redirection. Trusting this allows you to stop resenting what left and start blessing it for clearing the way. The bitterness that comes with loss transforms into gratitude when you understand the role separation plays in your growth. Another key aspect of alignment is internal separation. It's not only about people and circumstances, it's also about releasing old versions of yourself. The fearful, hesitant you cannot walk into the opportunities waiting ahead. The insecure, approval seeking you cannot carry the influence you are about to step into. The complacent you cannot thrive in the accelerated pace that lies before you. This month is a call to shed those inner layers. Separate from self-doubt, from procrastination, from the need to please everyone, and from the fear of starting again. Those identities once helped you survive, but they cannot help you thrive. The alignment of your outer life begins with the separation in your inner life. The challenge course is obedience to this process. It is tempted to cling to what is leaving, to chase after people who are walking away, or to resurrect plans that no longer carry life. But alignment requires surrender. It calls you to bless what is ending without begging it to return. It asks you to trust that when something exits, something greater is preparing to enter. This posture of trust keeps your spirit light and your hands open, ready to receive what fits your present season. When you consent to separation, you make room for alignment. And alignment is the only place where peace, progress, and purpose can truly coexist. So if this October brings you moments of pruning, do not see them as punishment. See them as preparation. See them as the gentle rearranging of your steps so that you can walk into the fullness of what was meant for you. Some doors will close, some ties will loosen, some dreams will shift, and that's exactly how it should be, because only when the wrong things leave can the right things find their way in. Open doors and acceleration often arrive in the most unexpected ways, and when they do, they seldom wait for your convenience. They appear suddenly demanding both courage and readiness. This is the nature of opportunity. It rarely announces itself with fanfare, and it rarely looks exactly as you imagine. Sometimes it comes disguised as a simple invitation, a small meeting, a chance encounter, or even a challenge you didn't ask for. Yet behind its ordinary appearance lies extraordinary potential. The key is whether you are willing to recognize it and walk through quickly before the moment passes. In this season, especially in October, open doors will be presented, but they will require discernment, faith, and boldness to step into. Acceleration follows open doors. Once you take the step, momentum begins to build faster than you anticipated. What once felt like slow, upward climbing suddenly shifts into rapid progress. Projects that dragged for months suddenly find solutions. Relationships that seemed stagnant begin to grow. Resources you struggled to secure begin to align. It may feel overwhelming at first, as though everything is happening all at once, but that is the nature of acceleration. It compresses time, bringing into weeks what might otherwise take years. You must adjust your mindset for pace. Waiting has trained you in patience, but acceleration will now test your capacity to handle abundance, responsibility, and decision making at a higher speed. The danger of open doors is hesitation. Many lose momentum not because the door wasn't there, because they lingered too long outside it, debating whether they were ready or worthy. Fear of the unknown often whispers at the threshold, what if you fail? What if this isn't the right door? What if you're not good enough? But the truth is, no door designed for you will require you to compromise your integrity or diminish your worth. The right doors will challenge you, yes, but they will also carry peace even in the stretching. Courage in these moments is more important than certainty. You don't need to see the entire hallway, just enough faith to step through the next door in front of you. It is also important to remember that not every open door is meant for you. Some are distractions, offering quick results, but pulling you away from your true calling. Others are tests, showing whether you can discern between good and best. Discernment becomes critical in seasons of acceleration because more options will present themselves than you can realistically pursue. The open door that is truly yours will not only align with your gifts, but also with your values and purpose. It may not be the easiest option, but it will be the one that resonates with peace in your spirit. You'll know it because it doesn't require you to lose yourself to gain it. When you walk through the right open doors, acceleration will not only advance your life, but also affect those connected to you. Others will be lifted as you are lifted, encouraged as you are encouraged, and strengthened as they watch your boldness. This is why acceleration must be stewarded with humility. It is not about pride or proving others wrong. It is about multiplying impact and extending blessing. Handle open doors with gratitude, remembering that every step forward is both a gift and a responsibility. October's call is clear. Be ready to move. Keep your heart attentive, your schedule flexible, and your spirit courageous. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is the one in front of you. When the door swings open, step through. When momentum begins to build, don't resist it. Flow with it. Trust that you are equipped for the pace, prepared for the increase, and chosen for the opportunities that come. For this is the season where hesitation can cost you, but faith-filled action can carry you further than you ever imagined. Refining pressure is one of the most misunderstood yet necessary processes in the journey of growth. Pressure is rarely welcome. Most people see it as opposition, as something to escape from or pray away. Yet in truth, pressure is not designed to break you. It is designed to build you. It is the fire that purifies gold, the weight that strengthens muscle, the resistance that sharpens character. Without it, you would remain untested, unproven, and unprepared for the greater doors that await you. October carries the weight of refining pressure, not as punishment, but as proof that what you are carrying is valuable enough to be tested. No counterfeit is ever tested. Only what is authentic must endure the fire. When pressure arrives, it often looks like deadlines stacking on top of each other, responsibilities multiplying, or critics raising their voices louder than before. It can show up in the form of unexpected delays, unexpected bills, or unexpected conversations that stir your emotions. In those moments, you may feel overwhelmed, questioning why things are becoming more difficult instead of easier. But that is the very sign that you are on the edge of something greater. Pressure intensifies right before breakthrough. Just as the darkest part of the night comes before dawn, the heaviest pressure often comes before release. Instead of asking, why me? The wiser question is, what is this shaping in me? Because pressure always leaves you stronger if you allow it to do its work. The refining process also exposes weakness, not to shame you, but to strengthen you. When heat is applied to metal, impurities rise to the surface so they can be removed. In the same way, pressure brings out habits, attitudes, or fears that may have been hidden during easier times. It shows you where your patience is thin, where your discipline wavers, or where your trust falters. This is not failure, this is refinement. You cannot fix what you cannot see, and pressure ensures that you see clearly what needs to be addressed. It is an invitation to grow, to tighten your routines, to guard your words, and to strengthen your mindset. Every time you respond to pressure with intentionality instead of panic, you become more resilient. Pressure also teaches balance. It forces you to evaluate your boundaries, your priorities, and your energy. If you are stretched too thin, the heat of pressure will show you quickly. It's a call to reorder your steps, to say no where necessary, and to focus on what truly matters. Sometimes the refining is not about adding more strength, but about trimming the excess. Carrying unnecessary weights will make pressure unbearable, but releasing them will make the burden light enough to carry. Learn to delegate, to rest, to nourish your body, and to protect your peace. These are not signs of weakness, but of wisdom in times of refining. One of the greatest gifts of pressure is clarity. Under pressure, distractions fall away, and you are left with what really matters. It strips away the noise and reveals your true priorities. Suddenly, you see more clearly the relationships that sustain you, the dreams that truly drive you, and the values that anchor you. What once seemed urgent may no longer matter. What once seemed optional may become essential. Pressure aligns you with truth because it refuses to allow you to coast on convenience. It demands authenticity, forcing you to show up fully present and fully committed. Though uncomfortable, refining pressure always produces fruit. It builds endurance, and endurance produces strength of character, and strength of character leads to influence and trustworthiness. Those who have been refined carry a depth that cannot be faked. They move with quiet confidence, unshaken by storms, because they know what it is to withstand fire and still stand tall. If you embrace the pressure of this season, you will emerge lighter, clearer, and stronger than you entered. So in October, when the heat rises and the weight feels heavy, do not despise the pressure. Welcome it as a sign that you are being prepared for something greater. Remember, diamonds are only created under intense pressure. Let this refining season shape you, knowing that the fire is not there to destroy you, but to reveal the brilliance within you. Your posture determines your portion, and in seasons like October, when so much is shifting, your inner stance becomes the deciding factor in what you actually receive. Many believe that breakthrough is only about opportunity, but opportunity without the right posture can be wasted. An open door means little if you are too distracted to notice it, too fearful to walk through it, or too prideful to handle it well. This is why posture matters. It shapes your readiness, your receptivity, and your resilience. In times of unveiling, reversal, separation, acceleration, and refining the posture of your heart, your mind, and your spirit will decide whether you move into fullness or whether you stall at the threshold. The first posture is watchfulness. Life does not always announce the turning points with loud signals. Often, the most important moments appear small, almost ordinary. An overlooked conversation, a passing phrase, or an inner stirring may be the very confirmation you've been waiting for. A watchful posture means living with eyes open, attentive to patterns, repetitions, and subtle nudges that guide your path. Watchfulness also means guarding against distractions, because distractions can dull your perception, because you to miss what was meant for you. If you carry a spirit of alertness, you will not need to scramble. When change comes, you will already be positioned to act. The second posture is humility. Nothing repels growth faster than arrogance, and nothing invites blessing more than humility. Humility does not mean weakness. It means living with the awareness that you do not have to control everything, that you can learn from anyone. And that giving credit quickly is a sign of strength, not loss. In October, humility will protect you from self-sabotage. When unveiling shows you blind spots, humility allows you to acknowledge them without shame and grow. When reversal suddenly elevates you, humility keeps you grounded so that you steward the blessing wisely. When separation takes place, humility enables you to release others with grace rather than bitterness. A humble posture ensures that increase does not corrupt you and pressure does not harden you. The third posture is generosity. A closed hand cannot receive more, but an open hand both gives and gathers. Generosity in this season is not just about money. It is about sharing time, encouragement, wisdom, and opportunities. When acceleration comes, it is tempting to hoard your success, but true alignment multiplies when you bless others along the way. A generous posture creates an atmosphere of abundance, reminding you that there is more than enough to go around. It removes the fear of lack and trains you to see yourself as a conduit, not just a container. The more you pour out, the more space there is for fresh provision to flow in. The fourth posture is swift obedience. Delayed obedience is often the silent thief of momentum. Many people sense what they should do, but wait until conditions feel perfect, and in the waiting, the opportunity passes. Swift obedience does not mean recklessness. It means responding quickly to the instructions you already know are right. When you are shown the next step, take it without allowing fear to gather a committee in your mind. Momentum is built not in giant leaps, but in consistent, timely steps of obedience. The longer you delay, the harder it becomes to move forward. A posture of immediate response keeps you in rhythm with the timing of your season. Your posture is not about outward appearance, but inward alignment. You can look calm yet be anxious inside. You can appear confident yet be insecure within. This is why posture must begin at the heart level. Ask yourself, am I watchful or distracted? Am I humble or self-centered? Am I generous or withholding? Am I obedient or hesitant? The answers to these questions will reveal whether you are ready to carry the opportunities and responsibilities that October brings. Your posture decides your portion because it determines what you can be trusted with. A watchful person notices what others miss. A humble person can carry influence without it destroying them. A generous person creates space for multiplication. An obedient person rides the wave of acceleration without falling behind. Together, these qualities create a life that is not just blessed for a moment, but sustained for the long haul. So as you step into this season, focus less on what is coming to you and more on how you're preparing yourself to receive it. Posture yourself with vigilance, humility, generosity, and obedience. If you do, you will not only see the events of this season unfold, you will be positioned to walk in their fullness. Your portion will not slip away because your posture will have made you ready. The message of October is not simply about events unfolding around you, it is about how you will stand in the midst of them. Unveiling brings light, reversal brings hope, separation brings clarity. Open doors bring opportunity, refining brings strength, and posture determines how much of it you truly carry forward. This season is not random, it is intentional. Each moment is designed to prepare you, stretch you, and align you with what has been waiting for you all along. You are not being pushed down, you are being positioned. If you resist, you may feel only the weight of change. But if you lean in with watchfulness, humility, generosity, and swift obedience, you will discover that every unveiling sharpens your vision, every reversal proves that waiting was worth it, every separation frees you for what's real, every open door accelerates your steps, and every refining moment makes you unshakable. October is not here to pass quietly, it is here to shift you forward. So walk boldly, even when the path is unfamiliar, trust the process even when pressure rises. Let go of what's leaving, embrace what's arriving, and step through the doors that open before you. This is your season to see clearly, to rise steadily, and to move with purpose. The month has been marked, not just for events, but for transformation. And if you choose to posture yourself rightly, October will not simply be another month on the calendar. It will become the turning point that defines the rest of your journey.